Hello there YouTube, Polar Bear 084 here, back with another episode of A Bear's Guide to Hunting. And today we are hunting our way into G rank, and the only obstacle are two Hypnocatrices. Now, there's a good chance you've run into Hypnocatrices already, considering you can fight them in the Nekot quest to get into high rank, into the village high rank quests. You can also fight them in guild high rank as well. There is a single Hypnocatrice quest, so you might have fought them already, but if you haven't, if this is your first time with them, then you may notice a lot of similarities between them and the other bird wyverns that you fought. Yangaruga, Yankutku, the Gypceros. There's a lot of similarities between these creatures. So the moveset will be similar. A lot of it will be quite similar to you. You've got the kind of lob that... that's probably a little harsh on my cat, but you know, you needed to wake up. You've got the lob that Gypceros does poison, except Hypnocatrice uses sleep. So you want to be aware of that. Also, a lot of treadmilling is going to happen here, so make sure to keep an eye on your health, because it will evaporate, especially when they're enraged, as is typical with most bird wyvern species. And here's the second one coming in now, so... I just clipped him there. So what you've noticed is that the other Hypnocatrice is flying around the arena. And the reason is that the first Hypnocatrice clipped the second one as he was landing. Now if you clip a Hypnocatrice, if you hit it while it's trying to land, it will do the Rathalos around the world attack. So be careful of that, because if you aren't paying attention, he can just swoop out of nowhere, seemingly, and just catch you off guard. And it is very painful. Like, it does a lot of damage. Because let's not forget that these two, while only being bird wyverns, you know, kind of an early game menace that you might be used to dealing with, they are G rank. They are G-rated, G-rank monsters, which basically means they're the strongest that they're ever going to be in this game. So we're fighting them with high rank weapons and high rank armor, which means that they have the advantage. And so you really, really want to be careful about how you handle both of them, because they can do a lot of damage. I mean, that Hypnocatrice did a good chunk of damage and didn't even really hit me with anything, just treadmilling. So, you know, you've got to be careful. There's a tail swipe, that does a decent amount of damage. Your health will chip down faster than you think, especially with two of them. So this may be one of your first times dealing with two of the same creature. You've probably dealt with two creatures before, like the Rathalos and Rathian quest that you've had to do. There's also the two Tigrex quests that you would have had to do to get to G rank, which is always a lot of fun. I have a Tigrex video that may help you with that. It's in the top right if you want to look at that. That's from 9 years ago. It was the last one I did before I moved to the US. So there might be some interesting differences there. But yeah, so this is a, you know, dual monster quests are never easy, because there's just one too many things to keep track of. It's an acquired skill for sure, but with enough practice, you can start to kind of understand how they move, and therefore understand what they're more likely to be doing. You can even start to hear the different noises that they make for their different attacks. The other thing that you may notice is they can actually hit each other, as you saw earlier when one Hypnocatrice clipped the other. And this is incredibly useful, especially like in the Rathalos and Rathian fight, because they can fireball each other and wing clip each other and charge each other, and you know, a lot of the damage that you need to deal to them is actually done by themselves, which is really helpful. So it's the best way to handle a dual monster fight, especially when they're the same, is to pick one and target it. Make sure that it's the only thing you're hitting for the majority of the fight, because that way you can kill off one of them, which makes fighting the second one immeasurably easier. So you really want to make sure that you get rid of one and then get rid of the other. If you try to focus them both down, you can end up fighting two of them for the whole 40-50 minutes it takes, which is just really annoying. It's much easier to fight the first one for 20 minutes and the second one for 15 or however long it takes. So that's why I've paintballed one but not the other. One of them is slightly bigger than the other, but it's kind of hard to see a lot of the time. because, you know, perspective, it's all relative, so it's kind of hard to keep track of. I think another good tip for multi-creature fights, I mean, I haven't even gotten into the actual creature and how it attacks yet, but fighting two of them is very tricky, so I think it's worth going over. But another thing about two creatures is that you do your attack and then you get out of there, especially if you can't see the other one. You want to make sure that you have this space between you where you were and where you think the creature's going to be, because you can dodge a lot of attacks like that. Alright, I was going to do a full charge, but I saw the other one out of the corner of my eye. So that, let's go through the attacks, alright? Let's actually talk about Hypnocatrice's varied attacks. The one you're going to see the most is that jumping kick that Hypnocatrice does a lot. Now that jumping kick does a lot of damage, and he can do it anywhere from 1 to 4 times. And it usually, as you can see, it's very easy to dodge. It doesn't have a very good turning circle. It can turn like 90 degrees, so if you just run in front of it, you can avoid the kick. When enraged, though, it can turn quicker, and therefore it can catch you off guard, because you're expecting to be able to dodge it when actually it can clip you a lot, basically. And so you want to be aware of that. Like before, when not enraged, it's probably, I would say, I don't know, let's say 60 to 90 degrees that it can turn. When it's enraged, it can be like 35. So it can turn really sharp when it's enraged. And I think that's just down to the fact that movement speed is increased, so it can track you a little faster. But so that jumping kick's one. The lob, the sleep lob that it does there, that's another. That's very common. Obviously, you've got the drill pack that all bird wyverns have. Fairly easy to avoid. I'm sure you've dealt with that quite a lot. This is an interesting one where it flies backwards. It actually seems to unleash what appears to be like a sleep mist out of its beak, and that can actually put you to sleep if it catches you. I initially thought that it couldn't, because I thought it caught me a couple of times, but if you're in the perfect place and it goes over you with that, then the sleep catches you and you actually fall asleep. So be aware of that, because for a while I thought it didn't affect you. I thought it was purely cosmetic, but actually, no. Alright. We haven't even talked about weapons or armor or anything. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's continue talking about Hypnocatrice. You can see the jumping kicks there. You've also got a tail swing, which is also a fairly common, just every monster kind of ability that they have. Let's see, what else does Hypnocatrice do? Hypnocatrice also has a couple of Rathalos moves. As bird wyverns technically like to do, they like to borrow from the king of the sky when they get the chance. Oh, he actually hit me with that. So that's one thing about the lob that can that it borrows from Gypceros. It can lob it really far, or it can lob it right in front of him. And as you saw, if it lobs it right in front of him, and you're attacking in the front, which is usually where you do, it will get you. And it's pretty quick, especially when enraged. When enraged, you will notice it moves quicker, much like all monsters, and you'll see sleep mist kind of oozing from its mouth there. That is cosmetic. That's just to show you that it's enraged. That's not actually going to do anything. You've got the triple sleep lob, which is, you know, another thing borrowed from Gypceros. Gypceros has very similar attack to that. What's interesting is that if one Hypnocatrice is standing in front of the other when it does the triple lob, all three of them hit the Hypnocatrice, and it's actually enough to put it to sleep, which is basically impossible to do on your own. But with a Hypnocatrice hitting another one that many times, you can actually put it to sleep. I've seen it happen, and it's pretty good. It can also get stuck in this little pattern where it just endlessly tail swipes, which is quite annoying because you don't know if it's going to do it 2 times, 4 times, 6 times. It will always do it at least twice, so be aware of that. If you see it do it once, you know, wait for the second one and see if it pauses. Here's the hip kick. Is the jumping kick. You can see how tight those corners are when it's enraged. It moves a lot faster and is therefore a lot harder to dodge. Alright, I think that's the majority of Hypnocatrice's attacks. It's got the Around the World attack, which only happens if you hit it while it's landing in a new area, or just landing in general. Second Hypnocatrice has arrived. Come on, quickly. Completely missed. Alright, so we've got one doing a tail swipe, we've got another doing a kick. We've got one doing a drill peck, another doing the kick. Now they're both doing kicks. You can kind of see just how insane this can get, right? That's why you have to paintball one, because otherwise you might forget which one it is. For example, this is who I'm attacking. I had genuinely couldn't tell. When it does this, this kind of chicken run, which is very similar to what Plesioth does, that means it's leaving the area. So it does damage, just the same as Plesioth if you get in the way of it. But it does mean that it's leaving, so you can rest assured that you don't have to deal with two of them anymore. Although they do seem to follow each other. It's as if they know. Alright, we're going to pop another potion. And wait for him to land. So yeah, if I were to run over here now while he's landing and hit him, he would do the Around the World attack again. But that's the only time it happens. You don't have to worry about it any other time. And the only other attack is where it flies across the arena, much like Rathalos as well. And that's pretty much all of them. Alright, let's see if we can get a good solid hit on the beak here. Let's talk about the weapon we brought. So we have bought, we bought it and we brought it, I guess, the Sanctioned Gunhammer. And the main reason for that is, like I said, we're using high rank weapons against G rank monsters. And the Sanctioned Gunhammer has 832 attack and 500 fire attack, which is just monstrous. In fact, that's one of the best things about hammers, is the extreme damage that they can do. We haven't showcased hammers on the channel yet, so I figured it would be worth doing. I don't typically use them that much. I mean, everyone has weapons that they favor, and hammer's just not one of mine. It's a little too slow and a little too clunky for my liking, but it definitely makes up for that in just brute strength and the ability to stun creatures fairly easily, if you're good with it. As you may have noticed, I am not, because, I don't use it that often. But it does have a good chunk of damage that we need. If I wanted to upgrade the fire longsword that we have, the Rathalos longsword, I would be stuck unlocking Teostra in high rank, which means defeating every hunting quest in high rank, and then also I would have to get and kill a high rank Teostra, and then I would have to get Rathalos Ruby as well, which is, as we all know, is just a lot of fun. A little tip, actually, for getting a Rathalos Ruby. Silver Rathalos, video's up in the top right if you want to see that. But Silver Rathalos, you start the fight, you chop off its tail, you make it drop a shiny, so you bring a Flash Bomb, and then if you don't get a Ruby, abandon the quest and try again. Abandoning the quest resets your items, so you haven't used any items. And you keep doing that, but it does reset the quest, so you get a new RNG count. Ah, that hurt. See how much damage that did, because he's enraged? It can add up, especially when there's two of them. But yeah, so actually we're right next to base. Maybe we should just paintball this guy and go heal. Although my cat did a little bit of it. Oh, he hit the Vespoid with the sleep. That's funny. Yeah, let's go heal. Let's keep our eye on him though. But yeah, so if you want to get rubies, the best way to do it is to make Rathalos drop a shiny. So, flash bomb it. Cut off its tail and carve the tail. And if you don't get a ruby, abandon the quest and try again. It takes a while. I ended up having to do it 20 times, but I eventually got a ruby. And the reason I did that is because the game just wasn't really being fair. I had done the quest what must have been 25, 30 times before that to get a ruby, and I hadn't gotten a single one. I'd gotten a couple of plates, but no ruby. Silver Rathalos is the best creature to get a ruby from, and so it's a 40-minute fight, 35, 40-minute fight at best. And so it was a lot of time sunk into getting a ruby, and I never did. So I decided to use that little tip, and it works. It takes a while, but it works. So if you need rubies, or if you need hard to find items that are dropped by shinies or tail carves, give that strategy a go. And it's really, really helpful. Alright, let's get some damage in, shall we? But also, let's talk about the armor we are wearing. We're wearing what we wore against the Acantor, there's the videos up in the top right if you want to see that as well, because a Cantor is the other creature you have to kill to get into G rank. He's a high rank level creature, but he is not easy by any means. Alright, so I think we're heading this way. Looks like it. But yeah, so this is the Obituary set that we used against a Cantor. Actually, we're going south, which is interesting. It's a very good set. It's got high... I mean, let's take a look at it. It's got high defense, because I've leveled it up to level 8. It's got high fire and thunder and dragon resistance. Not good on water or ice, but for what we're doing, that's perfectly fine. It's a very good set. It's honestly not too expensive either. Insect items, and also every type of sack, basically. So a toxin, every type of high rank sack, toxin sack, paralysis sack, etc., etc. Thunder sack. I think it's thunder sack. But yeah, it's a good set. It's not that expensive for the amount of defense you get. You also get evade +2, which is a really, really nice ability. There we go. Give me that, please. Oh, he's already enraged. That's a good sign. That means we're piling damage in quickly enough. I don't know what I was doing. I really just walked into that, huh? I'm running back to base. Alright. I'm right here. I might as well. Because I gotta fight 2 of them. I want to save my healing items a little bit. This does waste a bit of time, but if I'm this close, I don't see a reason not to. So yeah, Obituary set, it's very good. It's not expensive, like some of the sets where you have to get rubies or plates or stuff like that. It's mostly just Hornator items, if I remember correctly. Vespoid items, and there are Queen, you know, you can fight Queen Vespoid, kill a lot of Vespoids in that. That's a good way to get them and all that stuff. So it might not be super cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than a lot of other high rank armors. And good, the evade +2 is incredibly useful. I don't know how I'm ever going to have a different set of armor, to be honest, because... Oh, well, I just rolled to a different area. Because evade +2 is just too useful. Like, that's the only way I think I was able to kill a Cantor, if I'm brutally honest. Alright, we're trying to get as much kind of charged hammer pounds as we can in, because they're very strong. And I think it's the best way to use hammers. Correct me if I'm wrong. I would love some insight on this, since I'm not really a hammer bro, as it were. Oh no. Does this work? I don't think it does. I also brought some power juices with me. That way, you know, if in case we need it. That was entirely treadmilling right there. Alright, just leave me alone. Alright. There we go. I rolled the wrong way. Okay, so the items I brought with me is the usual set, you know, all of our typical items. Is he weak? No, he's just taunting. All of our typical items, you know, Mega Potion, Whetstones, all that good stuff. But we also bought our Armordrug, Demondrug, Powerjuice, because if there's 2 of them in an area, you may notice you end up running a lot. And because there's 2 of them, you always end up running away from one of them. So you end up with that double stamina drain, which is really bad. Especially when you're using a weapon that utilizes stamina like the hammer. It's incredibly difficult to fight like that. So I would definitely recommend bringing a power juice if you're using any weapon, really, just because you can avoid that double stamina drain when both of them are in the same area, which is very, very, very rough to deal with. It's a lot of stamina that you lose just for running normally. Alright, he finally stopped. Do we have enough stamina, you think? I think we do. We do. Barely. He's down. Alright, let's do it again. I could have just done the triangle, circle, but I like this. This is good too. But yeah, feel free to tell me if I'm misusing the hammer, because I want to know. I don't know what the best way to use the hammer is, and forums for this game are a little, you know, a little old, and so they're not very informative a lot of the time when I try to look for them. So let me know, like, if there's a better way to use the hammer, if, you know, I should be mixing up charging with different attacks, if I should be focusing more on the head, any of that, like I would love to know. And I think anyone who is interested in using hammers would also like to know. But yeah, so I think this is pretty much everything you need to know about Hypnocatrice. Now you just have to kill them both. And like I said, the best way to do it is target one of them down, and then get the other one. I might need to heal. I might pop up. Have I drunk my Demondrug and Armorskin? I did. For a very brief second, I thought I hadn't. Alright, he's leaving. That's good. We can crack a ration. And where's he heading? But you can see my stamina's going down twice as long, and my character's doing this animation. It's because I'm technically running away from him. And so if both of them are in the same area, you're always running away from one of them. And that stamina drain is always happening. Which makes it very hard to get anywhere. And very difficult to dodge certain attacks. So power juices are very, very useful. Alright, it's the taunt. Don't mind if I do. See, that's why I don't aim for the head, because I find I end up missing with one of them. He's limping, that's what we like to see. I figured he must be soon. Alright, where's he heading? I think he heads to the cave? Usually, which is this way. Yeah, it seems to be the case. Or actually, is it this way? I don't know. I don't have this map memorized because it's the Great Forest. This is the first time you might have been encountering it, unless you fought Hypnocatrice already. But the Great Forest was in Monster Hunter 1, and all of the areas in G rank you'll see, the old jungle, the old desert, the Great Forest, and I think something else as well. I can't remember what. But those are all from Monster Hunter 1 as well. And it's kind of neat that they brought them back in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Alright. See all the damage I'm taking here just from standing beneath him? It's insane. It's almost as bad as Rathalos, Silver Rathalos. That's actually something I should warn you about. When you stun Silver Rathalos, if you stand next to him, your health just evaporates. Like, there's no other word for it. Your character doesn't react. Like, if you're trying to cut off his tail while he's stunned, your health just disintegrates. Like, there's nothing left. And it's something to do with the movements and actions he does when he's taunting while stunned that just evaporate your health, and your character never reacts. So it's very difficult to notice it's happening until you see that you were at full health and now you are not. So invisible damage is a very real thing in this game and something you should definitely pay attention to. Alright, he's dead. Nice. How long did that take? Just for reference. It took about 27 minutes. That's not too bad, but remember in the first area we were fighting two of them at the same time. So, you know, the second one should be quicker. Fingers crossed, he says. Alright, so we'll finish carving. I think we'll sharpen. The nice thing about hammers too, at least to my knowledge, is that you don't need to worry about sharpness as much. When you use the charge here, it doesn't bounce, which is awesome. It's probably the main reason I use it so prolifically. But also, you can be down to yellow sharpness, and it just does not matter. Because they are blunt force weaponry. Right, let's see if we can't find Hypnocatrice around here. I'll bet you he is north. You have to go up here. But yeah, so this is largely the quest. This is you know, you deal with one, focus one down, get him out of the picker, and then dealing with the second one is infinitely easier. Right. Yep, here he is. That's perfect timing. It's as if he knew. I could hit him and have him do the around the world attack, but I really don't want to, because I don't know if a paintball counts for that. I don't think it does. Because it technically shows the hit animation, but I really don't think that would trigger the around the world effect. Right. He's giving us a lot of free hits, which I'm not about to complain about. But yeah, you're definitely going to want to remember your paintballs. You want to do better than me on the paintballing, because you do not want to lose time running around this forest, especially when you don't even know how it looks yet. I could have grabbed the map from the base, actually. I don't know why I didn't. I guess because I'm used to... I rolled into that. I'm used to having such a full inventory that I've been avoiding picking up the maps now, which is honestly something you should start doing too. Knowing these areas by heart will just make life a lot easier and make your quests a lot quicker, because you can instinctively know the areas that your enemies like to frequent, and you'll just know that in your head instead of having to check the map every time. Alright, that was a little greedy. I should have known that there would be a follow-up there. You can see just how quickly you can get caught off by Hypnocatrice like this. If he started a jump kick attack, that would have caught me. Like, there would have been nothing I could do. Alright. I think we're good to heal here. Yes, we are. Fantastic. But yeah, you may notice that if you can just get on one side of Hypnocatrice during the jump kick attack, he'll kind of end up just doing a little square around you, which is really nice because it gives you time to heal. It's honestly one of the best times you can heal. Like, see this? Oh no, he only did one. But if he'd done more than one, you would have seen him kind of do a square pattern around me. Like this. You can see that? That was like one side of a square, or two sides of a square. Alright, that wasn't quite what I wanted to do, but it'll do. Let's see, we got a tail swipe. Let's see if we can't sneak in here. There we go. You also may notice that sometimes when he flaps back, he doesn't always have that sleep mist. But he frequently does, and it's best to just roll to the side and then wait for him to land and run over to where he's landing. But don't be in front of him, because he could catch you with that. It's very not good. Alright, he was aiming for my cat there instead of me. This is probably not the right way to charge. You can roll to cancel a hammer charge as well. You just got to make sure you have enough stamina, because if you run low enough on stamina, you can't even roll. So just bear that in mind. You can see just how much we're able to kind of focus this Hypnocatrice down now that there are no external threats. Now that we know this is the only fight we have to do, we can be a little more liberal with our healing items. That was a very long jump. Alright, yeah, the hammer has two charged types of attacks as well that I haven't really talked about, because I only really use one. Damn it. Let's wait for me to get back up, and then I can explain it to you. So you hold it down to charge, and you see that little flash? That means I am now charged. You can see that aura around my hand. If I stand still and do this, I do this two-hit attack, which is what I've mainly been using, because it gives me opportunities to react to my opponent. But if you're moving and you let go, you do this whirlwind attack, which hits a lot, and if you hit triangle, sooner than that, you can do like a finisher move, which I think does a decent amount of damage. The only problem with that is it leaves you immobile for quite a few seconds. And as I'm sure you know at this point, that's not a good thing, especially against something as fast as a Hypnocatrice. So, you know, there's two of them. I really only use the first one, just because it leaves me open to be able to, like, you know, dodge attacks and evaluate my positioning and all of this stuff. If you're in the right place, you can just run around Hypnocatrice's jump kick even when it's enraged, but you have to be in just the right place. Alright, we stunned him again, or staggered him, that's good. Should probably hit... I hit L, which centered my camera behind me. Alright, good. There we go. You can see he kind of did a square there. Ended up almost where he started. Alright, yeah, that's why I don't do the normal attacks, because you bounce. That's why I've mostly been doing the charge attacks. Alright. Let's see. I should probably use a Mega Potion, really. Very nice. A lot of these attacks, which is nice. This is, if you're in the right positioning, you can get a good amount of damage in while he's doing his little kind of try-shot here. It's very good. The only problem is he can move out of your range, but, you know, if you're in the right place, it doesn't necessarily matter. Ow. See how fast and damaging the Hypnocatrice is when enraged? That's the G rank there. That's what G rank is doing. That was very close. I think if I hadn't had evade +2, that would have got me. I think evade +2 is going to ruin me. When I go back to a normal armor that doesn't have that, I'm just going to be... Well, my timing is going to be very off. But I mean, it's a good set of armor. I've been thinking about fully upgrading it actually, because it's very useful. But there might be an obituary in G rank. I'm sure that there is. I bet you it's very expensive, but I'm sure it exists. All right. Oh, that treadmill damage I just took there, treadmilling. From him just standing still. For those who don't know, treadmilling, I don't know if it's a real term of phrase. I feel like I coined it myself, but it could be something that people use as well. Is where a creature stands still, doesn't do an attack, doesn't move anywhere, and yet does damage. So it normally looks like Plesioth, for example, is the perfect example of treadmilling, because it genuinely just walks on the spot. Doesn't move anywhere, it's not an attack, but it does do damage. Your character doesn't react to the damage either, that's important. So yeah, like Hypnocatrice treadmills, a lot of the bird wyverns treadmill, Plesioth treadmills. So, you know, keep an eye out for that. But if you didn't know what that means, then that's what I've coined it anyway. Yeah, you can also exploit all of the times he'll jump back and do that kind of flat back that him and Rathalos do, and Rathian. It's a very good time to charge, it's a very good time to get a couple of free shots in. That was nice, that was very good. He's enraged again. You can just see how long this duel is going now. Now that there aren't two of them, they're less likely to change areas, they're less likely to, you know, knock you out or send you back to camp, etc, etc. It's fairer, really, is what I'm trying to say. It's more of a fair fight, says the man with the giant hammer. There we go. Okay, yeah, so I did hit him while he was landing, and it does confirm that he only does the around the world when he's landing in a new area. After that, you can hit him in the air all you want. So bow users, that's probably a useful tip. Alright, although I would question if a bow user would even have... That was unfortunate. Would even have the damage output to actually kill them in time. Alright. I believe he's going into the cave. No, he's going into this area over here. Alright, let's take another ration. Do we need to sharpen as well? We might as well. We have mini whetstones. No sense in saving them. Okay, he did go into the cave. I don't think he's weak, though. I don't think there's any chance that he's weak yet. Alright, so we'll just roll off of here. Let's go after him, shall we? That had nothing to do with me, I swear. I will say this is the one nice thing about Hypnocatrice, that gives you a lot of kind of lead time when you get into a new area. There's a lot of looking around and taunting. It's good, you can get a couple of free hits in. So if you know, when you get in, make sure that you run over to them quickly, because they can usually just stand there and do nothing for a good few seconds, which is always good. Alright, we'll just do this now. Yep, that was... I knew something was going to happen. Alright. That's 5... that's 4, sorry, I miscounted. Very nice. I'm going to be daring here. I want to get some damage in. I don't want to time out the quest, that's for sure. I have done that on this quest before, with this weapon and this setup. That's the finisher there. I hit triangle before he was finished with the spin, and I did the finishing move. But as you saw, not quickly enough. That's why I don't use that move too often. It takes up too much time. You can't roll out of it. You are committed. The only way you can get out of it is if you do the finishing move early. If you do it early, then he'll do like a little side attack with the hammer. If you do it at the right time, like later into the attack, he will do, or your character, sorry, will do the kind of the baseball swing that you just saw him do. That was rude. I guess I hit him and he became enraged. Still rude. Alright, let's see here. That was close. I should probably heal soon, I would imagine. He also does the centering thing that Rathalos does. If you see him kind of centering himself a lot, like adjusting position, much like Rathalos, then he's most likely either going to do a jump kick or he's going to do his lob. See there? Actually, that was actually a jump, like, drill peg. This is bad. Thankfully, he was targeting my cat and not me, because I would have been heavy punished there. I don't think I need to use this. I'll just drink a potion. Be quicker, be quicker, be quicker. Alright, he was merciful. We should really paintball him as well. Alright. Ow, my face. Okay. But yeah, this is largely the quest. It's not too difficult if, you know, you prepare yourself, and if you know how to deal with Hypnocatrice, it's not too bad. But just make sure you focus one down and then the other, or else you might run out of time. In fact, you probably will run out of time. This is the biggest problem when he's enraged, is just the amount of distance he can cover. Just with simple moves. Yeah. It's very difficult to get a charged hit going there. That's dangerous. This is dangerous too. Alright, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8. I don't think I've seen him do more than 8. I think 8 spins are the most he does. 1, 2. I was hoping that he would not fly that far back, but apparently he did. He is also unenraged now, which is nice. You can see how much slower he is. That means we have a lot more chances to attack here, which is very good. You'll notice that I'm attacking the legs. That's largely because I have at least some warning for when he tail swipes, and it also forces him to turn around if he wants to jump kick. If you attack Hypnocatrice from the front, a lot of the time you don't get any notice that a jump kick's going to happen. He can just instantly do it. Much like Rathalos and Rathian can instantly charge, he can instantly jump kick or instantly drill peg if you're standing right in front of him. So you really, really don't want to do that. You could stand by his tail, but then a tail swipe will always get you. That's why I think that standing by one of his legs is the best place to be. You can get your hits in on the head when he falls over, or just when, you know, luck strikes and you clip the head while he's moving. Also, when you're standing in front of him, those sleep lobs are much more likely to hit you. So definitely don't stand in the front unless you're really trying to get the beak. But even then, I would attack him from the side, like here. I would hit him like that, so that you can not be directly in front of him, but still hit the beak. All right, that's good. Once again, we're just kind of chipping away at him now. That's largely the objective here, is to just get him down. Slowly just whittle him down until, you know, we finally kill him. We get a lot more opportunities because, again, there's only one. We don't have to deal with 2. We don't have to save our healing anymore. We probably should still be careful, but we don't have to be quite as, I would say, delicate as we were. And you can see the sleep mist that he just put there, put my cat to sleep. So it does put you to sleep if it catches you, which is very not good. See there, I was in front of him. Oh, he turned quickly enough and instantly destroyed me. Alright, let's see here. I would love to drink this, please. I don't think he does the 3 the 3 sleep lobs if he's not enraged. I think that's an only enraged move. If it isn't, I'll put it in Bear's Broken Brain, but I'm pretty sure that it is. Oh, okay. Oh no, okay. I hit him, I thought he was going to do the Around the World attack, but actually he just did a reposition. Probably because he got enraged. That makes sense, actually. Alright. I was going to say, I see a jump kick coming on. Do I have time? Nope. Largely no. That was close. I was out of stamina, so I wasn't able to roll. But luckily, he didn't get any closer to the wall. Otherwise, that would have been the end for me. This is dangerous. Alright, somehow we dodged that. I'm just going to roll out of this because we aren't going to be able to keep up, and he's just going to jump kick. So I want to have my stamina available. Got a drill peck. This is going to hurt. You notice we've got 10 minutes left and he's still standing? That's where the G rank kind of health pools that we're talking about come in. Oh, I wish I could have got that second hit. Also, I wish I hadn't been hit. That would have been nice. I'm going to put the weapon away. I need to heal. Come on, you can do it. He did it. Ah, oh, beautiful. Fantastic cat Coco is. He's the best. Alright. I'm okay with this. I'm not okay with that. That's not what I wanted to do. See that little swipe and then an upswing that he did? That's the early finisher in the spinning attack, tornado attack. And then the baseball swing is the finisher you get later in the baseball in the spinning attack. And I think that the baseball swing is the better attack. I mean, visually it seems like it would do more damage, but I don't know. Maybe I'll put that in Bear's Broken Brain. Let's get a charge going. We won't want to hit him before he lands, but we can certainly hit him afterwards. Fantastic. Get him. He's dead. Alright, fantastic. That actually went really well. I think largely because we did the double charges, or the standstill charges. I think that very much helped us a lot. So yeah, that's Hypnocatrice, or Hypnocatrices. I guess Hypnocatrice is probably the plural of Hypnocatrice, I would imagine. I feel like it is. But there you go. Oh, I got a Beezor. I think that's rare. That's nice. But there you go. This is how you get into G rank. With this finished, you have now obtained access into G rank, the hardest difficulty in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. So congratulations to you. That's fantastic. I hope this helped you get there. If it did, let me know. I would love to know if this is helping you, if you learned some useful tips and tidbits here. And also leave a like so that other people can maybe learn something from these videos, and also get themselves into G rank, into the hardest part of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Thank you all for taking this journey with us. I mean, we aren't done, obviously. We still have quite a few creatures to go. I am going to be doing the G rank variants, so like the Plum Daimyo Hermitor. That's going to be next fortnight. The videos are going to once every 2 weeks. Well, I haven't actually mentioned that in this video yet, but that's what's happening. It's going to give me time to do more editing in these videos, to also complete the harder G rank quests and the grinding that I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to do that too. But yeah, these will now be every 2 weeks, just to give me time to do that. I hope that you're okay with that. I hope that you're happy to continue supporting the channel. I appreciate all of you for doing that. It really means a lot, and I'm loving playing through this fantastic game again. It's great. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps you. But yeah, if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and get subscribed so you can see what's coming next. The Plum Daimyo Hermitor is our next target, and then there's plenty of other difficult creatures to deal with in G rank, so I hope you continue taking this journey with me. But thank you, I hope this helps you, and happy hunting!